That's the chalupa from the prayer pipe yesterday. Share with you the prayers of the people. All right, everyone. Oh, let me do some of this. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope the day has treated you kindly. It is December 8th, 2025, and I'm back with another message. Let's see what we got going on. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, please give us an update on the planetary situation for humanity and those who would enslave us and those who are freeing us. Please let us know for the collective what's going on in the planetary circumstance regarding our emancipation and this reset of the world. Well, you've got, okay, well, the High Priestess is going places. Moving forward, she's protected, maintaining control, and moving forward with something. So that's good. That's good. All right. What else we got? What else do we got? In the central energy. Excuse me. The Empress. The Empress. In the challenge position. Excuse me. Darn it. Well, we got Hanged Man in the reverse in the challenge position. So there's resistance. We got some folks out there who have been in your energy, wearing your identity and filling your shoes for so long, not just in this lifetime, but many lifetimes. They do not want to let go. They're psychotic. They don't want to let go of your energy. Empress. In the subconscious, they don't want to let go of the High Priestess and the Empress. But we saw there that the High Priestess is in her chariot. They don't want to let go of this Empress. They're in a Ten of Swords burden. They don't have any control. They're trying to stall. They don't want to let you go. They're resisting. They're in a crisis. They're in crisis over this Empress here. Could be that they have failed in their recent past. The Hermit. So you've been doing some research. Intentions, expectations. Strength in the reverse. Somebody doesn't have any courage. You've discovered the truth. Somebody doesn't have any strength. They're lacking courage. Low energy. They got cut off in the near future. Well, we got the Hierophant in the reverse in the near future. Excuse me, we've got the Hierophant. You could be free of whatever system, this unorthodox and foolish system that was trying to keep you bound. This hypocrisy. So we got a Hierophant. a hypocritical, pretend religious person or whatever. The lens is being looked through. Five of Wands. It's pretend religious. This is all they do. You got these folks, these unconventional, strange, religious things, and they're all competing with each other for dominance or for some kind of, my God is better, or God loves me more, or whatever. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. I think they're probably hiding behind the face of religion, and they're doing, and they're making war with people. Yeah, the stars. So they're making war with the stars behind the face of this religion. They're using it as a front to what? Harvest energy. Sacrifice to whatever forces it is that protects them. Okay, so we've got a Tower. Chaos. Hopes and fears. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. Immaturity. Somebody's emotionally immature. They're disappointed, irresponsible. They're not able to get any kind of love offer because they're too irresponsible regarding love. And the outgoing energy. Chariot. You're leaving it behind. Again, you're leaving it behind. So we had the High Priestess in that Chariot at the bottom of the deck at the beginning. And now we got the Chariot there. And somebody is in a Five of Cups. They have to accept a loss. They have to accept a loss. They've been working real hard for this Devil. There's a contract for a passion project. And they're going to be restricted from coming into the Ten of Cups, divine love, this community of blissful, harmonious relationships. The King of Swords is there with a clear mental body, and he knows exactly who is who and who's intending what. So there's a lot of negotiations going on right now, juggling to bring balance, because the Queen of Cups and whoever this is that's with her is releasing the baggage and moving on to calmer waters, disconnecting from the shady characters in the casting illusions. And they're having anxiety because the Queen of Swords is here, she's got the brightness of the sun, a rebirth for the Divine Mother. And the King of Wands is here, overcoming all of these challenges, and he's got his inheritance and he's sharing it with people, with everybody. So he's sharing it with the community. And those who were all about trickery and fraud, betraying people, stealing from each other, or stealing from them, they're in a Five of Pentacles. They're losing everything. And so we've got, it could be, yeah, well, we'll just leave it at that. The Empress is right there. Everybody chose, everybody came into alignment with those that they thought were their match. So folks came into alignment with what they believed to be their match, or what the Most High God decided was their match. We'll just have to wait and see what's going on. We got the Empress here in the central energy. Oh, I got an upside down card now. Don't be playing me like that. Okay, Empress is in the central energy. What's going on with the Empress, please? Mirror. Mirror. She could be looking in the rear view mirror. She's looking in the rear view mirror. The Empress is here. Could be looking in the rear view mirror here. Well, we'll get more clarification, but for now we're going to say that. And it could be that the reflection or the copycat or whatever is in the Hanged Man reversed. It could be that that the challenge for this Empress is that her mirror is resisting change. They have a fear of sacrifice. They don't want to let go. They may be trying to appear as you right here in the environment. We got the Empress and her mirror right next to each other. This mirror is trying to walk exact edge definition. This is what they call it. They don't want to be sacrificed. They don't want to be cut off. They want to take your position. They want to pretend that they survived an impossible life path, that they actually beat 2 of their own bosses' records and then earned the right to be in your shoes. So let's look at this. We've got the Empress and her mirror is right there. The mirror is challenged because they don't have any control. It's the Hanged Man in the reverse. They're resisting. They won't stop copycatting. Breakup. There's a breakup. Walking away, separation, the end. 10 of Swords. This mirror wants to fulfill your shoes. There's a whole bunch of masculines out here in this energy. They're talking about kidnapping somebody and replacing them with a copycat. Here in the 3D, they want them to command the spiritual identity and inheritance of this Empress. The Hermit is here. Research. But we got 10 of Swords. So they're in a, this is ending. This painful betrayal, collapse, defeat. This mirror is right there with the Empress. They're out of control. They have no control. And they're experiencing a breakup. There's a separation. And 10 of Swords, collapse and defeat. For who? The Empress or the mirror? What's going on? Firm. So they're in a collapse and defeat because this Empress is very firm, wide awake to what is happening here. Done the research right there, Hermit. So shining a light on the soul, spreading the word about what these reflectors, what these mimickers have been doing to separate twin flames and to bind them away from their spiritual inheritance and purpose. Change. So you've done your research. You've investigated. You survived many lifetimes of abusive situations regarding this. But your research here is offering change for humanity. A newborn, evolution. There are some genetically modified life forms, as far as I understand, that will be recycled because they are mutations of God's creations, and it was forbidden to do what they were doing, these mad scientists with their medicines and their health care. We've got the Strength card in the reverse, so it could be that this mirror doesn't have any energy. You are too firm, you're too strong, you're too aware. Photographs. So they're experiencing some kind of insecurity. There could be photographic evidence of what they've been doing here. You've done the research here. You have transformed, you've been rebirthed, you've come into yourself, and now this mirror is afraid. They don't have any strength or courage. We've got the Hierophant here in the reverse, a hypocrite. This is a religious, they're hiding behind religion, but it's a hypocrite that's not really teaching divine wisdom. Unfinished business. It's not over. Back and forth and baggage. These ones were going over and back. They were crossing the half-court line. They were playing in the shadows, in the dark. So they were, what, worshiping death. There's some kind of force. You have no idea the forces that protect this church, they said. So, you know, and I won't say which church, because you all have to draw your own conclusion with that and your relationship with God and however that works out for you. But yeah, so they were going against the rain. These people were going over to the shadows and making sacrifices and then dressing up in the energy of purity and then coming back over into this upper dimensional space and pretending as though they were the energy and the life force of that innocent child or whatever that they were sacrificing. They were doing it. There's a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot of back and forth baggage with these ones. These ones who were fighting with you, competing with you, Empress. This is somebody here that's competing with you, Empress. They say it's a competition. It's never a competition. It was flat out brutalization of God's daughter of Eden. The special ones. Pet. So they're fighting. These animal friends, these are genetically modified animals, basically. They're intelligent animals. They have been splicing and dicing their genetics, trying to come up with an army that God would never be able to defeat. This is crazy what these psycho madmen, these mad scientists were doing. So they were trying to fight. They're fighting this competition. There's a rivalry, dog, cat, animal friends. They've been sacrificing pets. They see you as an animal. They are genetic, intelligent animals. We've got the tower here. I heard the other day they were going to be recycled. There's a tower. They're in chaos. Sudden changes. You're getting, yeah, they're in chaos here because your dreams are coming true. It's a miracle. You have you're the catalyst for miracles to occur. So somebody is in tower over this miracle that you're experiencing here. It could be your dreams are coming true. You're getting what you want. We've got sunset. The sun is going down. This is ending. They're in a tower. Page of Cups in the reverse. They're disappointed, irresponsible, running away. They're trying to run away. Emotional immaturity. They run away from responsibilities. They don't have any ability to persist and actually get to the nitty-gritty of something, complete a project that has value. We've got the Chariot here. You're leaving it behind. They're leaving. Somebody's going away. You're victorious over this. You got a miracle here. You could be in a miracle. So yeah, you could be going somewhere. You might be driving somewhere. This is meet by chance, love at first sight, and crush. There may be an opportunity for you to actually come in to see your person, but you've got this mirror right next to you, Empress. So you and your person really need to like focus, double down on your internal harmony and stability, so that there are no ripples in your water affecting the energy that will need to be viewed. Miss you. Somebody might miss you. Somebody might miss you. A mistress, a third party, a street, speculation. Those things that were taboo are cooling down, stopping. Somebody's taken a leap of faith, rolling the dice on hope. It could be that you are doing that. Divine timing is here. And somebody's in an eternal regret over communications records, social media, things that were said throughout time. There is a reconcile here. Maybe somebody, the clown wants to reconcile. They want to camouflage themselves and reconcile. So be very, very careful about who you're encountering right now. We've got no people, the end of opportunity regarding the apple and the rose. The apple is what Eve ate. The apple is what this mirror ate, the actual divine daughter of God that they threw away and then created a clone out of Adam's rib. Adam wanted to have sex with a freaking clone of himself in feminine form. It's disgusting. And then they decided to spend the next thousands of years doing sick shit like that. Sacrificing, eating the apple, sacrificing the roll, eating the rose, eating the fruit of God's family tree. There's no more left. There's nobody left. Because they were casting the illusion. This uninvited guest was creating illusions and messing with people's heads with the liquor, the drinks, the liquor, so the alcohol. But you're single, isolated, and independent, but you are singing your song. And let you be seen, singing songs of praises. You are connected to the divine universally. And we've got this snake here, which is a forgotten past person. It could be that you are only seeing the tip of the iceberg as you're investigating here and for the law. You got a new beginning here and you're letting go of the core of the problem, which is this Hierophant in the reverse and everybody who's serving them. You are independent, free. You are a leader. You took the initiative here. You're a powerful dark, a powerful light. You are the master. You have a sixth sense about you, and you are divine intervention. You have a new talent now, I guess. You birthed new talents out of all of this bondage and this torment that you had been experiencing. You developed new talents, new skills, and you're very devoted and committed to home. Creating a refuge, a safe haven. You're ascending into the upper dimensional spaces. You're a powerful light, and you and yours are devoted to each other and the home environment that you are creating here for the future children. So you have addicts here, toxic attachments that were just after your finances. You have solved the puzzle of what these shadowy people were doing. This trash, this waste, this worthless crap. And now this in the silence. So they were trashing everything and they were being silent, and maybe they will go silent. Maybe they are going silent. Somebody out there is called the silencer. And it's like, it's been getting quieter and quieter and quieter. It's like people are losing their clairs. They've been misusing their clairs to get into the minds of people, to stalk them, and then come in innocently and introduce themselves and then trap them into a commitment, a contract, and then they would sacrifice them. This is what they've been doing to their wives, to their husbands, to their children. It's really kind of sick. What these mirrors, these reflectors were willing to do to get ahead. They didn't want to work on anything. They just wanted to destroy those who were working on something beneficial. and then pretend that they were actually doing work. But actually all they did, as they stepped into those shoes, all they would do is destroy the work that you had already begun, because they're not equipped with the internal soul known knowledge regarding your purpose. They're just a thing out there creating havoc. They're going to get disconnected. So your mirror is getting disconnected due to the history of what they were doing. So the Empress is here, and her mirror is right there, reflecting, trying to appear as that. But there's a backstory here, and they're getting disconnected. So the Empress's mirror is getting disconnected due to the history. They're out of control. Hanged Man in the reverse. There is a breakup here. Like, they're done having relations with anyone, and it's just done. There's a separation. This is the end. You're walking away. Congratulations. You did not do anything. You remained peace. And now the Most High God is here dealing with this snake. There's a promise. The snake is going to be bound to time, because they're just an actor or an actress posing as, and they couldn't do it well because they don't know what your purpose is. They may know your purpose, but they're not equipped with the essence or the skill or the desire to fulfill your role. They just want the money. They don't want to serve God. They don't want to bring heaven to earth. They actually want to bring the demons up while they put the Empress down. So there's a separation. The mirror is getting disconnected because of the backstory. They don't have any control here with the Hanged Man in the reverse. They're resisting this breakup. There is a separation. This is ending. They may be spying on your location. They really want to come in and do a 3D thing. They want to capture the original, and they want to trap them and then dress up their mirror. It's not going to happen. It won't happen. They will perish trying. The Divine Mother stated such a thing, and I believe her 100%. That's why I speak freely. I trust the divine in what they have told me. So the mirror is getting disconnected due to the backstory. They don't have any control. There's a fear of sacrifice, but there is a breakup happening, separation and end. They could be spying on your location, Empress. They may be looking for you. They're in a painful ending, a 10 of Swords ending. Everything's collapsing. Because you are firm, you are stable, you have control over your mind and over your life. You're not just out here being a freaking psycho, you know. You're very much in control of yourself. And that's amazing, considering how they try to destroy your mind. Conflict. So they're in a 10 of Swords, loss. They're having a crisis because you are clean and clear. You're very firm in this conflict. You didn't fight back. You're clean of conflict. You did not fight anybody. You absorbed all of that negative energy, all of that black energy, all of that death magic, all of those men gathering to focus on her. You did nothing except grow firm and stable in the midst of this storm that they were placing upon you. You were the eye of the storm. Everything that they threw at you was rolling around, spinning around, tearing everything up, but you were the eye of that storm, and you remained firm. You are clean, you are clear, you did not fight back. You stood in the eye of that storm, and you just watched it all happen. You experienced it, and you gathered the information from those experiences. You've done your research with the Hermit card here, and you're bringing forth change, a transformation, evolution. There is a brand new beginning. brand new beginning. There's a change in this transformation. Be you, teacher. Evolution. You might be the teacher. Maybe you're going to share information. Maybe there's a transformation happening here. You are the new teacher. We're going to have to get some more clarification on that. Newborn. Whoever this teacher was, justice is happening. Here and now. We've got the Strength card in the reverse. It could be that this mirror here, he was taught how to mimic you. There's a change and a transformation. Whoever was taught to mimic you is now in the Strength reversed energy. There are photographic evidence of history. They might have kept souvenirs as they were stealing your life force and causing you to die early and to go through little cycles of birth and death that weren't yours because you have eternal energy. They were stealing it from you. And you kept coming back. They're frustrated because you keep reincarnating. They wanted you to stay in that damn hellhole and you kept reincarnating. Appearance. So there's a photo. They don't have any strength. Their weakness. There's low energy. They're not able to birth something new. They're real emotional and insecure over photographs that they appeared in. They appeared in some photographs. The Hierophant is here in the reverse, a hypocrite, teaching people how to go over to the shadows, sacrifice a soul for their own. They would get a portion of it to dress up and so that they could cast the illusion that they were pure and innocent. And then this hypocrite right here would spend the other portion, 50% of whatever, on himself and the one that they are loyal to. They are feeding souls to the devil for success. Beautiful empresses, you know, they put a ring on it and then they stick them over there. This person that this person is with, this masculine or the feminine, take it as it resonates, but one of them is not like the other, but they are together and they decided to, one of them sacrificed somebody in the shadow so that they could appear like this other one. There's some back and forth, unfinished business, hypocritical, back and forth bullshit. They do heinous crimes in the shadows, unseen, and then they present themselves as though they're all innocent and pure. They're pretending to be you, or they're pretending to be whoever it is that they're unaliving on the other side of that half-court line. This Ouija board. Yep, exactly. This is a hypocrite. They do all this shady crap. They go over there, they dance around with the spirits, they make their sacrifices, they dress up in the energy, and they pretend that they're pure and that they've done their shadow work. But these are people who are sacrificing souls to spirits for fame, for money, for status, for the opportunity to be seen as this empress. So we've got the Five of Wands. There is conflict with animal friends. There's competition with these animal hybrids. We've got labor. They wanted your job. They're in a tower because you've got a miracle. Your dreams are coming true. And this is, night is falling on this scenario here. They're in a tower. You're getting what you want. You're getting what you want. The sun is going down on this snake. The snake is being removed from your sunny day. They're in a tower. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. They're disappointed. They are running away. Emotional immaturity. They could be running away. They're in a tower. Your animal friends, these pets, these genetic hybrids, they wanted your Empress position. They wanted to be seen as you. Arcana. They're running away from Arcana. They're upset that you got away. They have to give up. They're running from the Arcana. This is the end of that snake. The sun is setting on this snake, and their presence here. They're in a tower. You've got the Chariot here, a victory. You're moving forward with this encounter. There's an encounter here. You're meeting by chance, love at first sight. Your spiritual spouse may actually be bumping into you soon. Optimism. Optimism. It'll be a happy time. And it was prophesied. It was prophesied that you would be bringing a change, because you have objectivity here regarding these entertaining wise guys. You went to the other side, and you were able to maintain your mind in the state of this conflict. So because you have control of yourself, you know, you don't have to take medicine to keep your mind straight, you know, to be sane or anything. You probably see that I saw a saying earlier that you don't overcome fear, you outgrow it. So when you deal with something that's as scary as this, like I and so many others have, you know, where you're attacked by unseen, many of these entities are being sent your way. Yeah, because these guys are looking for a sacrifice, the back and forth, over and back rule. Well, it's difficult. Anyhow, you got forgiveness. You're a sovereign person. Sovereign. You're forgiven for your fate. It is seen here that you actually do love God. And that those who were not willing to settle down and be responsible just wanted your things and your status of privilege. But it has been observed and seen that you kept yourself clean. And it could be that you're sweeping the drivers, the puppeteers, the dominator tyrants. It could be that you're sweeping them right out of your path here. Martyr. It could be that those people are being martyred, these players who are horse playing around with other people's lives, this tribe. They could be getting martyred. They're getting recycled. You take care of yourself throughout all of this punching and you in the jaw. You know, they were trying to mess you up. You're a wholesome person and you didn't take any shortcuts. You are who you are, and you got all these people working very hard to be seen as you, and it's just not working out because they aren't. They can't be. They're just not. So I'm glad to see that that disconnect front and the backstory. So the Empress is here, a beautiful Mother Divine, and this reflection, this mirror, is getting disconnected because of the history of them mirroring you, trying to identity thief you. They're being disconnected. Your mirror is being disconnected because of the over and back rule, the routine of going to the other side, making a sacrifice, and then dressing up in the energy and coming back and pretending like they were holy, wearing an actual holy person's life force, and then sacrificing it in the other side here, and then sending freaking boogeymen after them, trying to get them there. This is so freaking bad. Jealousy is so freaking bad. Why don't you just go become something legitimately? Most people, they want to take a shortcut. They want to cheat. These are the kids that sneak into the teacher's desk looking for the answers to the test, and then they sell the answers to their schoolmates for $5 a pop or whatever, you know. They cheat and think that they're wise. They cheat and think they're wise. Isn't that something? So the Hanged Man is in the reverse. They have a fear of this sacrifice. They're resisting. They don't have any control. There is a breakup. You're walking away. There is a separation, and this is the end. We've got location. What are they doing with the location? It's a hidden location. They might be trying to spy on your location. You know, the location of your abundance. Location of your abundance. Your abundance could be at a hidden location, like, could be a hidden location. Take it as it resonates. You may have a hidden location for your abundance. 10 of Swords here. They're being disconnected due to the history of this over and back thing. They're in a 10 of Swords. Defeat. You are firm and wide awake. You have a very clear mind, and you know what to do in the face of this conflict. Yep, there's a whole lot of conflict there. But you kept yourself clean, your energy pure, your thoughts. You may have had to demolish some of the highways, the thought highways in your mind, and you may have had to construct new highways of thoughts. You know, choosing which ones get to stay and which ones must go. The conflict with nature. 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 Number 32, nature. Conflict. It is our connection to nature that fills our spirit and reunites us with divine energy. So Mother Nature, they were fighting. You may be Mother Nature, and they were fighting with you, and you're very, very firm here. You know, you may be Mother Nature because these ones have been, they're really mad that this Empress and High Priestess seems to have been gifted planetary dominion. She is the gatekeeper for planet Earth. She is the Earth Mother. And these nasty jacks here hiding behind religion to do sacrificial crap on the over and back rule and play with these Ouija board spirits, they're projecting out, and they say people like me are evil because I'm reading their story right now and telling the people what they're doing. So they're upset, and they want to punish those of us who are actually calling them out on their crap. You know, and there are a lot of ignorant people out there who believe them. So, you know, they're very good at acting. They have a script. They've been reading the same script for a long, long time. It kind of takes the work out of it, you know. As long as they can repeat their lines perfectly every time, then people will feel, you know, some kind of weird piety or whatever. And it helps, you know, when you got these big fancy supplies within your church, and you got these big fancy, you know, outfits you get to wear, look the part and all that. You create a whole freaking scenario, and people get lost in the what do they call that when you're doing a play and you got to take the stage props. The props, that's what it is, props. When you got the proper props, people will really go for it, man, because it's just like watching a movie, and you go watch the same damn movie every freaking Sunday or whatever. So they were being you. They were taught. So you've done your research. This Hermit, there is a change here, an evolution and a transformation. There's a teacher here that was taught how to be you and bring about negative influences as you. This mirror was paid to come up and destroy your reputation by mimicking you after you were sacrificed by this stupid Hierophant hypocrite. So they're in the strength reversed. They're in their raw emotion. There's photographic evidence of their appearance, of them being present somewhere. Negative influence. There's photographic evidence of who they were and who they became. Maybe they documented their plastic surgery or whatever it was that they had to do to look like you. It could be. Trickery and resistance. So strength in the reverse. They don't have any courage. They don't have any power here. There's photographic evidence. They might be trying to present photographic evidence, or it could just be that there is photographic evidence of them being present here during some form of trickery that they were doing to try to get out of this, to try to resist. They're resisting. There's a resistance. There's a photographic evidence of them appearing to do trickery in the effort to resist this change. The Hierophant is in the reverse. So this is a hypocrite. He's teaching people how to do nasty crap with the Ouija board and the over and back. They go over into the dark side. They cross that half-court line. They do their sacrificial crap, and then they come back and pretend that they're all innocent and pure because they're wearing the energy, the life force of somebody whose life they just ended. And they want to pretend like they're innocent and pure. False light. They're false light. So they were fighting with you. You must be like Mother Nature. I mean, the Divine Feminine, I feel, are the daughters of Eden. It's you who are like the goddesses of time. Spring, summer, fall, winter. It's like each one of you has these special gifts that are meant to bring about symbiosis and a collective synergy, you know, regarding the seasons and the stability of planetary systems and things. You know, it comes from the mother. So, you know, all of you are here as, I believe, mothers of nature, firm, unless of course you're a mirror, you know. There could actually be one. She's a magistrate in the spiritual realm. She's the magistrate. She's the dignitary. She's the planetary gatekeeper. And these ones had buried her deep, deep, deep into hell underneath all of this sacrificial, sexing up, bullshit, trickery, bad influence. They were dressing up in her energy and trying to paint her as a terrorist that wasn't worthy of planetary gatekeeping, while they let in uninvited guests that were eating the babies and raping the babies and sex trafficking the mothers. They were shitting all over the mother's head. The Mother Nature. Mother Nature. They were fighting with Mother Nature. So we've got observation in the reverse. Ouija board. It could be that this hypocrite, this Hierophant, going against the grain. It's not over, back and forth, baggage, unfinished business. These people who had been crossing the half-court line to play in the shadow, to take the soul of somebody else and feed it to the devil for a reward. So they're no longer going to be able to see. These spirits will no longer be able to see or observe you. It's like they're losing their clairs. They're losing their ability to roam around and spy on any human's life. They're a big old jackwagon. 5 of Wands. Freaking petty animal friends working against you. They wanted to appear as you. It could be that you've got animal friends, dogs and cats, you know, that these ones have been sacrificing. It could be that these dogs and cats, your pet friends, your animal spirits, are actually chewing them up. They're working on your behalf. So this could be that there's these ones, this hypocrite, this Hierophant in the reverse. There's unfinished business about this over and back, this sacrificial crap and presenting yourself as pure. This Ouija board, they cannot see anything. They may not be able to see the spirits. These spirits that they sacrificed are coming after them now. So they're either fighting with the animals that they have sacrificed, or those kindred spirits of the animal kingdom that are here working on your behalf. Well, I mean, I saw a vision of a pit bull. It was a very beautiful, large, gray pit bull, and he had wings that were as big as he was, massive wings on this beautiful pit bull. So the pit bull, or the canine, at least that dog, that particular version of canine, is got their wings. And it could very well be that is who is tearing these people up right now. Yeah, because what they did to the animals was bullshit. They're sick, man. They created statues of themselves consuming living children, chewing their arm off and stuff. What the hell? Ghosts. Ghosts. So we have a territorial conflict. These animal friends are working on these ghosts. There's a tower here. You are getting a miracle. Dreams are coming true. You're getting what you want. The sun is setting on the snake. They're in the reverse. They're going away. They're going to be nothing more than a memory. And I have short-term memory. So I'm very, very grateful. Night is falling on this snake. They're going away. Heart bond. No snakes in the heart bond. No more snakes. You don't have to worry about these snakes. When the person you're encountering here, now I certainly would, personally, take my time, but it looks here that we got a tower. The dream is coming true. There's a miracle. The sun is setting on the snake. They are in south node. There's no more snakes. That's upside down in the reverse when it comes to heart bonds. No more snakes in the heart bonds. We've got Page of Cups in the reverse. They're frustrated. They're running away from the Arcana. You've got some very large beings here on behalf of humanity that are seeing clearly now, because these must look in the sacred space. So you've got Arcana here in the sacred space. Somebody's disappointed because you got away. You ran away. They have to keep away. You got away. They have to give up. They're frustrated. They're irresponsible. The Arcana are in the sacred space. They want to run away. The Chariot is here. You got a victory here. And there is an encounter, a beautiful, loving encounter. You're going to meet by chance. It's love at first sight. And it's very optimistic. Very happy moment. Your friends are not going to let these ones hijack your union this time. That mirror is getting disconnected because they're seen going back and forth over the half-court line and then coming back here and presenting themselves as pure, and it's just not. So it could be that they're no longer able to see with these divination tools. It could be that they're no longer able to see. It's like I heard a younger masculine say, no clairs? Like they're losing their clairs, or they're losing access to the sacrificed beings who had clairs that they have been hijacking and pretending to have. You know, they tap into a consciousness, they sacrifice the being and then into another birth, and then, you know, as they're growing up in a child, they make sure that their cash cow, their freaking golden ticket, receives the proper amount of suffering, because they are expecting a big reward. If they can make that life form suffer enough, then at the end of that life form's life, they can go in, step in, mirror them, and then harvest the reward. It's so freaking ridiculous. So you got some happiness here, though. It looks like you're going to be happy about an encounter. You're going to be driving around in your chariot. You're going to have some weird encounter. You're going to meet by chance. Grief. You're very happy about it, and somebody is in grief. They're in grief because they can't affect you with any of the upheaval anymore. They're afraid. They're afraid. They're in grief because they cannot affect you with any upheaval. They're afraid. You're protected, and they're exposed. Oh my goodness. So they're in grief because their upheaval is, it won't stick to you. You're protected. They're afraid because they're in upheaval. Everything they're sending to you is coming back to them. So they're not happy. You're very optimistic. It's like, yay, you're very optimistic, and it's like nothing they can do will touch you. The Arcana are in the house. So the doctors of Eden, you know, the Mother, Father, Most High Mother, Father, God, Goddess, creators of all that is, are here with the entire limitless numbers of universes and families who are here to support this, because we got Mother freaking Earth here, or the Mother of the Earth, the gatekeeper of the Earth. These men were prostituting all of the women, trying to make certain that she never closed the door on them again. She's like, you cannot come in here. And what did they do? They tricked her and then sacrificed her, and then they took over. And it wasn't just her. They tricked her person too. I imagine you guys have all been separated for a long time, and these ones have been working very, very diligently with these spirits, spying on the consciousness of people to make certain that these twin flames never come together. It was forbidden according to them, but the divine, Most High God, actually meant for you to be coming together with another light source to create an even greater light-bearing child, right? And they didn't want this. These are very low vibrational hybrids, and they didn't want that because they're scavenging off of you. They've been coming into your house, astral projecting into your house, wandering around, poking you, eating your food, dropping poison into your coffee, doing whatever, messing with you, scavenging, stealing. Now there's wrath. There's wrath for them because you have risen. You have risen through the history of what they have done to you. You rose. You have been ascended. You have been elevated. You are free. You are free in this territory, and it could be that the people in this territory are now free also because of the experiences that you had so thoroughly and traumatically, but you were able to bring up firsthand testimony and give that to the Most High God, and now wrath is here for these people. They're having anticipation of some kind of mischief, or maybe those creating mischief are having anticipation of an empty arena. Nobody wants to listen to them sing anymore. Those who were pulling up your seeds and making certain that you were never in your purpose are being released. They're being released. They have to leave you alone. Maybe they're going to be isolated now because they were dominating you and your gifts. See, the gifts that you have bring balance, bring temperance. And they were dominating your gifts and committed to an empty nest. They were committed to ending your life and the life, the family tree, the apples, the roses. They wanted to exterminate God's family. This freaking Hierophant wanted to exterminate God's family. They were going over the line, sacrificing purity, and then dressing up in the innocence of that little life, that little soul, and coming back and freaking telling everybody how freaking beautifully innocent they are. Make me sick. Make me sick. I heard somebody say that they ate their own and they did not deserve to be covered by that energy and that purity. So they were rejected because they cannibalized their own child in order to present themselves in a pure energy. They're freaking sick in the head, man. So no more snakes in the community, no more snakes in the territory. The Arcana are back in the sacred space. They have control over this foundation. The Earth Mother, the Mother Nature, stayed firm and stayed clean and wide awake during this conflict with these invasive species calling themselves men. And these feminine puppets, they could be like clones of their own rib or whatever, you know, do as I say now because you belong to me, you are me. And then, you know, that's why they see themselves in each other, because they are each other. They actually are born of the rib or whatever. They're like genetically modified replicas or whatever, tweaked a little bit, but you're an original. Yeah, dishonesty. So the Empress is here, and that her mirror is being disconnected due to the history of the over and back rule. They crossed that middle boundary. They were going into the shadows to unalive people, to dress up in that energy, to eat them, to torture people, and then they were coming back and pretending as though they were all innocent and pure, going to church, and they're just got all this beautiful energy on them because they're so great and all that. Well, it was all a lie. It was all a freaking lie. It was their routine. They were unaliving people on the shadow and then coming back to the light, dressed up in the light of the life that they just ended and sent to the devil. They have no control. There is a breakup. There is a separation and an end to this stuff. We've got location and abundance. So the location of your abundance may very well be hidden. There is a breakup and a separation. They will no longer be in the location of your abundance. They got to get out. We've got escape. You've escaped the dishonesty. They're in a Ten of Swords, defeat, because the Mother Nature stayed firm in her foundation, and she's wide awake. She's got clarity of the mind. She has control of herself. There is no medication needed to pretend. Sanity is here. She worked her way through insanity during this conflict. This is the Mother Nature. This is the planetary gatekeeper. There is a mending of a connection with Most High. The Hermit here. So she's been here in all of the aspects, you know, and divine feminine energy. You know, the mother is in everything and everybody. So, you know, anybody who is connected to the Mother Nature is involved in this. We've got the Hermit here. So there's research, soul searching, bringing about a change, a transformation to the teacher and those who were taught how to be you and then bring forth negative influences into the world. You're the Empress, and this is a shadow being who is pretending to be you and leading everybody down a path of incoherency, leading everybody into failure, leading everybody into a demand for another cycle, because they were driven into failure by this mirror, wearing this Empress's energy and pretending to be her. driving people into negative influences. They're getting disconnected. And I don't think they're going to get to die anytime soon. I mean, some people are being recycled, but I don't know that it's going to be a quick process. I don't know. Spirit Divine said that you have no idea what they're going to do to your adversary. I don't need to know. I don't have any desire to know. That's not my, vengeance is not my department. I don't want to know about it. I prefer not to live in that energy. It's always been that way for me, regardless of how terrible these entities have been to me. I've always wanted to live in the energy of love, of peace, of stability, harmony. Time. It's time. It's too late for them to take any action. They were a negative influence. And so it's time. It's too late for them to take any action. There's a change here. We've got a new cycle. They're in the strength reversed. They're having a lot of raw emotion. There's photographic evidence in which they appear as a trickster. They may want to be resisting something. Somebody's resisting trickery. Maybe there's photographic evidence of this Empress resisting the trickery. There is, she's firm. She's resisting their trickery. She's high honor. And so there is a reunion. They're resisting a reunion. They were trying to do trickery against you. They wanted to appear as you. They wanted to drive all of humanity into these negative influences and eventually genocide or extermination or whatever. That's what these guys do. They're invasive species, and they're childish. They're very, very childish, very, very brutal and terrorizing, and they have their finger on the freaking nuclear button. We have a reunion here. Somebody's afraid. Somebody's feeling weak. They're in raw emotion over some kind of photographic evidence in which they appear. They were doing trickery, trying to resist you and your reunion. The Hierophant is here in the reverse. This is a hypocrite. They were using the back and forth. They were crossing over the back and forth line. They were doing sacrifices in the shadow, coming back over into the light, pretending that they were that pure life and light that they had just sacrificed to the devil. And then they were asking God to protect them from any kind of retaliation that anybody might throw at them. So they were getting protected by consuming the light of innocence, working it with these spirits. We've got observation in the reverse. So the spirits can no longer see. They can no longer see the spirits. The spirits will no longer spy on you for them. The spirits are no longer spying on you for them. It's not over yet. There's back and forth. The Ouija board is no longer spying on you. We've got reciprocity. Equal give and take. They want to have an equal give and take. They don't want to work for this hypocrite anymore. They don't want to spy on you. It's a ridiculous little thing. They wanted servants, and so they offer little trinkets or a little shekel or whatever to a spirit and give them a soul or whatever. Freaking wheeling and dealing with life. These dead men, these people who have the value of dead men and women, wheeling and dealing in the commodity of life. So you got the Five of Wands. So somebody's fighting. This is a rivalry. They were rival. This is intelligent animals. Intelligent animals wanted your job. These are ghosts. They've got the value of dead people. They could have been like called up from the dead. These Ouija boards, they're no longer able to spy on you. They can't see into your mind anymore. They're losing their clairs. They're losing attachments to the sacrifices that actually provided those gifts to them. Yeah, they were sacrificing empresses and high priestesses, and then these of the spirit were tapping into those that intellectual property, and then they were pretending to be you with these negative influences, teaching people how to smoke, teaching people how to drink, teaching people how to be promiscuous, teaching people how to show off nearly all of their body and go out to the clubbing, and then you know where that winds up. You got all these invasive species out there just waiting for somebody to come stumbling out of the club, right? Wearing too short of a dress, and they don't have any kind of ability to protect themselves at all. Oh, it's a fabulous little business, yes. So we've got unfinished business here. So there's a conflict, 5 of Wands, with animal friends. We've got labor, ghosts, unfinished business. The work of these ghosts is unfinished. There's conflict, animal friends. They're in a tower. You're getting a dream come true. The sun is setting on this snake. A lost loved one. Night falls on the snake. They're in the reverse. And we've got heart bond. There is a bond. There's something bound. They could be bound there with love. So your love has bound the snake. They're being bound there by your bond, by the power of 2. Yep, that's what's happening. We've got secrets. It's a secret bond. It's a secret heart bond. I haven't told you everything. The snake wasn't told everything. So God, the Most High God, didn't share all their secrets with this snake. They went and they mutated, twisted, flipped. But God didn't share all of the information. So of course, now that there is irresponsibility is running away from the Arcana in the sacred space. So there are people in the sacred space that are actual copycats pretending to be somebody else, putting out negative influences. They're running away from the Arcana in this sacred space. These irresponsible, emotionally immature, people who run around and slander others and make up stories and get all bitchy and whiny that somebody else has more. Come on, man, that's lower vibrational 3D crap. You want to go whine that somebody else has something more than you? That's very low vibrational. They don't need to be in this sacred space. They're running away from the Arcana. They're trying to keep away from the Arcana because they're getting held back. There's no roots, there's no fruit, there's no flower. All there is pretend and act, a mask and negative influence, and a lot of really childish behaviors, and a lot of really disgusting senses of entitlement to what other people's have. Man, nobody's entitled to anything that anybody else worked for. And it makes me so upset that these Hierophants in the reverse and their constituents have been going into the shadow and coming back, and they've been trying to trick God as they've been consuming God's children in the shadows and then coming back pretending to be them. Well, you Empress, you survived this brutality. You're very firm here. You're the actual Mother Nature. And your connection has been fixed. Yeah, somebody's in a 10 of Swords burden because you made it. And you brought forward all the dirty... Brought forward it all. They made mistakes. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. You're in your chariot, or you're going to be driving around victorious, having a great time. It's the end of the year, and you're going to have an encounter. Oh, you're going to meet by chance. It's love at first sight. Optimistic. It's going to be happiness here. Somebody is in grief because their magic won't stick to you. Nothing's sticking to you. They're in upheaval and in fear over your protection. They have been exposed. They are exposed. All of their mistakes have been exposed. Everything that they've been doing is exposed, Empress. You brought all of that shit to the top. And you may have only shown them the tip of the iceberg, but God went in there, or somebody went. Well, you, Empress, you went deeper than this Hierophant in the reverse, this hypocrite thought you went. So you went deep, 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 deep. You planted those roots deep, 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 deep. You found out information that no one else was ever able to bring back. They would not survive. But you did. So they made mistakes. These people made mistakes. They're confused. They're confused. They're like about those inside jokes, you know, prideful, egotistical. It's all sex, man. Flavor of the week, girl. Hey, there's gossip. This is an unexpected outcome. They cannot replace you in your destiny. You are irreplaceable. They cannot replace you in your destiny. You are the Empress, and that mirror is getting disconnected. They're hurting from the damage that they have caused through all of their habitual patterns that they refuse to change. You have an understanding, a greater understanding of the story that's been happening here, keeping twin flames apart and robbing them of their spiritual inheritance. And those people are getting detached, these reflections. They're getting detached from you. Their values were all about money. They don't have the same values as you. See, they wanted money and you wanted to love yourself. You wanted to become more. You wanted to be better, not in an egotistical way, but you're an alchemist. And alchemy is love. You gotta be love and be light in order to alchemize anything. So these people are in disagreement regarding soul contracts that they were daydreaming about. They wanted yours. And they're like, wait, you should understand how I feel. And it's like, I'm sorry, little twit. Nobody needs to understand at all how you feel. You sacrificed this Empress in the shadows. And then you've been running around here like you are the Empress. Teaching people how to smoke, how to do drugs, how to drink, how to go out and be irresponsible. Screwing up the purpose of this Empress, this Earth Mother. Trying to make it appear as though she was unworthy. But, you know, y'all left her alone. And now they want forgiveness for leaving her alone because now she's freaking gone. Gone, gone, gone. And now they don't know what to do. Oh, they don't know what to do. But they're guilty of not appreciating the beauty in you. They didn't appreciate you at all. They didn't appreciate anything about any kind of beauty. They wanted to destroy the beauty. And now you got a new chapter here, and they're overwhelmed because the truth is out. How they've been neglecting their commitments. They've been putting a ring on it and then sacrificing it to the devil and dressing up in the energy and calling themselves that. They're feeling broken and shattered. They want to run away. They were hoping to get your responsible union, and they were found unworthy. There's nothing responsible about them. They sabotage themselves, and they're in regret. I don't care. I really don't care about their regret. I don't care about their sorrow. I don't care about any of it. I don't. It does something to you when you're forced to listen to tortured children 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's frying your nervous system. Like, it comes in and it hits your nervous system so bad, and it's just these children crying out in torturous torment, and there's nothing, you can't see it. You can't find it. There's nothing you can do about it except you can feel the energy of these cries and coming into you, and it just burns all of the sheathing off of your nervous system, and you just sit there in cringe mode, and it's terrible, man. It's terrible because in order to, it's like I had to say, look, okay, I had to have a talk with myself. I'm like, well, I can't help anybody if I'm not stable, right? So I had to stop focusing on the children, and I had to start focusing on myself, and I had to pull myself up out of that because there was nothing I could do. I was too damn weak. I couldn't see. I was blind. I was being attacked and mentally raped, energetically raped, and then they were pumping all of this torturous energy in on me. So we've got the Empress is standing firm, and she's got all this information that she brought up about what was actually happening here. They tried to destroy you. They tried to destroy your nervous system. They tried to destroy your mind. They tried to destroy your reputation, but you are firm and you are clean. Your energy is pure. You don't have any addictions. These ones have complained about medicine. You may take a minor medicine. They've complained about hemp and cannabis. You may utilize specific properties out of those plants in order to maintain the homeostasis of your body. I don't know. But these ones, you know, they want everybody poisoned and in fear and in anger and unstable. And anything that brings you stability and homeostasis, they feel is cheating, right? Because you're not supposed to work against their efforts to destroy you. That's, you know, and when you did, I mean, this Empress is firm. She's solid, man. She's solid. Communicate. So now they want to communicate. They want forgiveness for going over and back, for drinking up the soul essence of an Empress and then pretending that they are that, line, going around trying to interfere in her cosmic eternal union. This is just so freaking sleazy, man. So sleazy. They're out of control. You're walking away. There is a breakup, a separation, and an end here. There is a hidden location for your abundance. Your abundance is hidden. You have escaped. You escaped. They could be spying on your location. It's a hidden location under the table. The location of your abundance is under the table. They don't know where it is. There are limitless numbers of universes out there. And when this shift occurs, you will go to that place. And these ones will never, ever, ever know where that's at. Timeline adjustments are really interesting because it may appear as though nothing has happened. You may just feel a little bit of in your head, you know, as like a little, like a, sometimes for me it feels like there's a cotton ball in my head, and it kind of goes, you know, and that I think is timeline adjustments or quantum leaps or something like that. Earth sign. So your location of your abundance is under the table. You have escaped. Somebody wants to compromise because, well, there's just no compromise. We've got the Earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you've escaped. This dishonest mirror is having a painful ending. They're experiencing a painful ending. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's going to be painful. What they did to you, that it was said that what they did to you, this Empress, High Priestess, every nasty thing they did will be done to them. Every nasty thing. And there are so many nasty things. I mean, these guys are creative when it comes to nasty brutality. Liar. A liar. Oh, we got a liar. Somebody's being sneaky. So you be careful. Somebody's being sneaky. You are firm here. They're in a painful ending. You were firm, clean, and decisive regarding this conflict. You are Mother Nature, the planetary gatekeeper. You have fixed your connection with the Most High God. Be careful. There's a liar out here being sneaky. They're wanting to communicate. This dishonest mirror is out here lying, being sneaky. You've done your research here with the Hermit card, and you've brought about a change, a transformation for those who were being taught, or for the teachings regarding these entities being you, or pretending to be high status, high value people, and then slamming their reputation, bringing forth negative influences, presenting as them. It's too late for them to take any action around this. The time is here, time, the end of time. Manifest. Manifest. You're getting exactly what you want. You've manifested exactly what you wanted. The universe is here, giving you exactly what you want, exactly what you need. Yeah, so those people who are fighting with you, they're just a bunch of liars. We got courage in the reverse, strength in the reverse. There's photographic evidence showing them as they are. So it could very well be that this mirror was doing something as you, and it was being filmed, and they may have come out of character in that film. So there could be photographic evidence of them being you, pretending to be you, like they may have taken off the mask or whatever. So they were doing trickery, trying to resist you two coming together, you and your person. They're really upset because there's photographic evidence of them actually being present in this trickery. It could be that your resistance to this trickery has offered you a reunion. Spy. You may have been a spy. You've done your research here. You've been here into shit of everything. You went into the bottom of the most disgusting little pit of shit that they were creating for everybody. You went down there and checked it out. And it hurt like hell because it was. Now we got the Hierophant in the reverse, this hypocrite out there teaching people how to go over and back, cross the line, do a sacrifice, dress up in the energy. Oh, here's a shekel. Oh, yeah, you're casting this illusion for me. We're going to beat God. I know we're going to beat God. And then you got this curator out there genetically modifying everybody, trying to create super soldiers to go war with God. Yeah, freaking idiots. And now they're crying and begging for help. And nope, but I don't care. These jackwagons thought that they had exterminated all of the original humans. But the Most High God went into these deep damn holes of hell and resurrected them and led them back into an ascension and gathered all their experiences and information, all of that firsthand testimony. And now he's delivering wrath to these idiots at a distance. So the Hierophant is a hypocrite, teaching people how to go over and back, break the half-court rule, so that they could appear as though they were innocent by unaliving innocence and then dressing up in that energy. We've got the Ouija board, the spirits. We've got observation in the reverse. It could be that they can no longer use spirits or divination tools to see what it is you're doing. We've got reciprocity. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. It could be that they cannot use the spirits to observe on you. It could be that everything that they did to you is coming back on them and that they have to keep their distance from you. Please take it as it resonates. We're getting reciprocity. It could be that you and your person are delivering this. You're putting distance between you. The happier that you are, the further away you move from rage, anger, hate, jealousy, envy. So if you are happy, then there is like a chasm that gets created between you and those that hate you, right? So you just got to keep and maintain your happiness, your lightheartedness to get this. And then God is presently doing this, right? So while you're creating a chasm between you, God is creating, I guess, space between you. Something. However that is. Depth. Height. So 5 of Wands, conflict, animal friends wanted your job. There's unfinished business with these ghosts. They're still trying to resolve something. You're working on these ghosts. There's conflict here, rivalry, conflict, debates. You could be debating intelligent animals over the work that they have done, these ghosts, for these dead men. You might be talking to animal friends. They could be fighting with your animal friends. The ghosts of your animal friends might be taking these people down. Take it as it resonates. Health issues could arise. So there's unfinished business. These are walking animated corpses, and I mean eventually they're just gonna go away because they're in a tower. You're getting your dream come true. A freaking miracle is happening. The sun is setting on this snake. They're flipped upside down, and they won't be any more heart bonds with the snake. Haven't told you everything. There's a secret heart bond. It could be that you and your heart bond are setting the sun on this freaking snake. Night falls on the snake. Gold digger. Gold digger. There could be some kind of bond. A secret bond. Like a binding. A bond. You and your Arcana mate in this sacred space might be binding this gold digger. They're in the reverse. This snake is in the reverse. The sun is setting. It's a miracle. They're in a tower. They're frustrated, irresponsible. They're running away from the Arcana in the sacred space. They're being held back from commitment. They can no longer have commitment in the sacred space. Those who didn't put down roots, those who never developed any kind of goodness, flowers or fruit. They were just out here mirroring people and being a negative influence in the world, pretending that they were somebody else while they sacrificed them to the devil and then ate their soul. Fucking, excuse me, sorry. Drank you like you were a fly to a spider. You just sucked your essence right out of your body. So emotional immaturity, irresponsibility, they're running away from the Arcana in the sacred space because they're going to be held back from commitment and they're trying to run away. These are gold digging copycats. They're negative influences, and they're trying to project that out onto the purity that they have sacrificed for their opportunity, for their stupid opportunity. They didn't want to become worthy of such a thing. They just wanted to pretend and continue being shit to everybody. So you're in your chariot. You got a victory here. There's going to be a miracle meeting between you and your person. It's going to be a happy thing. We've got grief because none of the magic is sticking to you. They're in upheaval and they're in fear regarding your protection. They are exposed. They don't have any protection. You were their protection. You were the one that was there to break their generational curses. You were the chosen one, and they sacrificed you to the devil and stuck you in a deep, deep hellhole. And God said, hey, that can't be my daughter. That's not my high priestess empress. That cannot be. And he found you in a hellhole far deeper than even your worst enemy thought you went. You brought forward so much information. They're screwed for eternity. They made mistakes. They made mistakes with their honeymoon. We've got a new beginning here. We've got a new beginning here. They wish they could right their wrongs, but we've got the first phase of this new way of being. It could be that you're going on a honeymoon. Your person, these divine unions could very well be going on a honeymoon. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. You're in your chariot here. You're in your chariot. You might actually be going through time. You might actually be like delivered unto some encounter. Optimism, honeymoon. It's going to lead to marriage. It's going to lead to marriage. And these mirrors are being held back from commitment. They're running away from the Arcana in the sacred space right now. They're emotionally immature. They're irresponsible. They've been playing in the shadows, sacrificing good people, misusing their clairs to hurt people and to get an opportunity that this Hierophant in the reverse, this hypocrite, told them they could get. All they had to do was get rid of you, man. You're protected. Your honeymoon is protected. Your new beginning is protected. Your new beginning is protected from these someone else's. They have, these third-party enemies have to use caution. They better not be approaching, this Empress. It's not going to end well. They got going back. Mercury retrograde. Going back. Because what? They got an air sign pregnant. A fire sign and an air sign. Okay, so we've got a, okay, so you must be a fire sign and an air sign. Empress must be either a fire sign or an air sign. And we've got yeah, so we got a new beginning. There's a pregnancy. You've got encounter, love at first sight, optimistic, guardian angel is protecting you. Your honeymoon is protected. You're in that chariot. Fire sign and air sign. You're going to have a baby, or you're going to be birthing something together, which is really significant. And where did that go? I just had it. There it is. And you're letting go of this narcissist. You're letting go of this narcissist. So the narcissists, these mirrors, these negative influences, these emotionally immature, irresponsible brutalizers and red rummers of decent, moral, good, and kind people. Yeah, this is the end. You can't go in and tell somebody you love them, then marry them, and then freaking brutalize them and sacrifice them to a freaking devil, man. That's horrible. We definitely need to let that shit go. This water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is having challenges. They're having challenges. They've got problems with addiction or gambling. Traveling soon. They may be traveling soon. Leaving. They're leaving. They're getting, the sun is setting on this snake. They're definitely, the lights are going out. The lights are going out on this snake for sure. These gold digging snakes, these mirrors. Your heart bond is a secret. They cannot check it out. We got this. It could be that your heart has bound them. The love of you and your person, it could be that it has bound this gold digger. And it could be a secret place. Oh, I can't believe I used all the old cards before I used the new cards. Oh, I gotta pull at least 2 more cards. Because we got 2 new decks. So the Empress is here. Her mirror is being disconnected due to the backstory. They were dishonest and they were going over and back on the half court. They broke the half court rule. They were going into the shadows and they were unaliving people, hurting people, and then they were coming back into the light, wearing that beautiful light that they had just harvested, and they were asking God to protect them from the shadows. So they were a dishonest little liar. They want to communicate now. They want to work it out. They're getting disconnected. They can't be in this environment. They can't be in this environment. They want to compromise and work it out. We've got escape. It's like you escaped. You escaped and you brought all this information forward, and now they are screwed. They're screwed. A long, long time ago in the underground realm. So you've been in the underground realm for a long, long time. And this POS mirror has been pretending to be you and leading the entire planet in a path of incoherency. This stupid negative influences. While they had trapped the Empress, the mother nature, they wanted to control the gate of the planet, and they let in this invasive species, these intruders that were eating the children, raping the children, prostituting the mothers, chemically castrating the fathers, and then doing what they do to feeding them estrogen so that they could have a more of a feminine inclination. They were doing that. They've been doing that for a long, 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 long time. So you escaped the underground, and now they want to talk. They want to escape the underground. You've escaped the underground. You were there for centuries, man, but you're here now because you sang your song, and that's the thing. You were recognized. Now, for me, it was at the age of 13. I spent all summer singing in the forest to the trees. And that's when I had my dream, my knowing. I was given a memory of when I walked into the portal to be here. I was gifted that memory. So I was discovered by, they found me a long, long time ago. But it's been really, really bad. Really, really bad, man. I got some bad men out there. So, but this mirror, you escaped. They want to communicate, compromise, work it out. You escaped the underground. You're up here shining. Everybody can see that this person is not you. They are afraid of this sacrifice. They have no control. There is a walking away, a breakup. They might be breaking up with somebody who thought that they were you. There's a separation and an end. The location of your abundance is under the table, so it's hidden. And we've got escape, earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and we've got cat. Likes the dark. Embrace your hunting instinct. Embrace your hunting instinct. It could be, so you've escaped. Their location of your abundance is under the table. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, cat. Escaped. They don't mind the dark. They've been playing in the dark for a long freaking time. You folks have been in the dark in a state of suffering. Fight or flight, survival, and all of that for a long, long time. You've been carrying karmic debt and transference of sin that this hypocrite, this hierophant, was teaching people how to do. Transfer it onto you. They take you into the basement, unalive you, and then they transfer all their negativity onto you, and then they say, I'm clean, I'm pure. Oh, look at that Empress High Priestess over there. Yeah, see all that shit, that nasty orgy shit? Yeah, that's her. No, it wasn't. It was never was. Ever was. It was a big lie from a, look, we got dishonesty here, and we've got liar here. Liar wanting to make conflict with the mother nature. The mother who is the gatekeeper of the planet. She is the magistrate. She has the rainbow covenant with God. This is a story that I read. I always pick up on the story. This is the planetary story. We all need to be very aware of what's happening here. We've got actors on television, in their little lifetime story, televised. They are pretending to be the divine feminine here. They're making themselves little fake medals, they're trying their best to portray themselves as an arcana, but they're just a very low vibrational, foul person that has no respect for anybody or anything. And there's a lot of them there. They've been doing this they've been eating people. They've been snacking on the souls of the people, of humanity, and they thought that they had gotten rid of them all. But you were in a deeper pit than they thought you were. They thought you were gone. They really thought you were gone. But you and this masculine were deeper than they thought. They were feeding on you down there, doing magic, feeding on you. And they were doing magic, trying to, as you. So they were dressing up as you, and you were the teacher. You're supposed to be, so you're the teacher. You're the empress. You're the beautiful divine mother, nurturing the child into being its greatest self. You know, ethical, moral, you know, be a powerhouse, all this good stuff. Have your relationship with the creator. Boom, boom, boom. But this mirror came in, pretended to be you, and then taught the youth all of these negative influences, how to be a hypocrite, how to draw somebody in, how to manifest somebody in so that you could just feed on them, take their freaking energy. I mean, this entity taught the youngers that this was the way to go. They stepped in this Empress's energy and taught these youngers a completely opposite way of doing things. It was not right what they did. It's too late for them to do anything about it. They're the new fodder. They're the new fodder. They've been eating the lives of empresses, of emperors, of high priestesses and hierophants. And this is a South Node hierophant. He's probably dressed up in the energy of an actual hierophant. This is a bad, freaking whack job pretending to be a man. So we've got strength in the reverse. They do not have any power. They do not have any power, and they don't have any courage. There's photographic evidence that they appeared in doing trickery. You resisted that trickery. You are reunited, and you've done all the research necessary to point it out. There's a lot of evidence here regarding what they actually are. We've got ice. Ice. You know? Could have something to do with ice. There's somebody that's really pissed off. Ice. It's weird and pissed off. Whatever it is. Resisting negative forces. A difficult or unforgiving environment can play a major role in our health and sense of well-being. It can limit and control our behavior as well as the actions of those around us. Harsh circumstances can allow bad energies to mutate and thrive in the extreme. Only by identifying a problem can we have any chance of dealing with it, or at least keeping it from spreading. And you did. You did. You came in and you found the evidence of this weird, pissed off thing that's in photographs. There's photographs. Oh, they're mad. You got photographs of them and their trickery. They might have been a shapeshifter. You might have caught them in the moment. There could be a movie of whatever this thing is. Yeah, you've done your research. So we've got the Hierophant in the reverse. He's a hypocrite, teaching the people how to go into the shadow and harvest innocence and pure. And they love the little ones, according to rumor, or what I've heard. Some of those actors, I guess, really like them. The newer, the better. The fresh out of the womb, the better, because they're right next to God. And they like putting what's right next to God into the devil's hands. That's how they get their promotions. That's how they get their fame, according to what I've been picking up on. Face. Face. They've been wearing your face. And now there's reciprocity. What do we got going on with the face? Face. Distance. Face. There's a surgery. These people did, they might have done plastic surgery to appear as you. There could be, that could be the photographic evidence. It could be that there was a film of the surgery. Oh, you're more beautiful than ever. Scars are earned. Don't hide them. Okay, so for lifetimes, your spirit, your eternal spirit has been taken knives to the heart, has been having your arteries slit. You've been probably brutally raped in the spirit in this 4D or wherever you were trapped at, some freaking hellhole where these people were brutalizing you and then absorbing that energy. So this is scars are earned, don't hide them. And again, so we've got the Hierophant in reverse. This is hypocrisy. These people followed blindly the back and forth bullshit. So we got the Ouija board and observation in the reverse. They can no longer use divination to spy on you. You and your partner may be physically distant. They have to keep their distance from you. We've got reciprocity. This is scars are earned. Every nasty thing that they did to this Empress will be done to her. Every scar that her Holy Spirit carries will be given to the mirror. Every nasty thing they did to her is in photographs, and they're there in those. It's proven, irrefutable evidence. It's all going to be done to them. So every nasty scar, every nasty thing that they did to cause that scar is going to be done to them. Maybe all of them. Because there were thousands of them. The whole freaking planet is full of these freaking entities. Look, and they're feeding on the human woman, on the daughter of Eden. This is what they've been doing. They've been harvesting the freaking love out of the... Are you kidding me? They use love as a weapon of war. You know, they love that one. They love that. Relationship is their favorite weapon of war. They get to go in, they get to have sex, and they get to unalive you and then suck your soul too. They get to dress up in. Oh my God! It's like a freaking smorgasbord. All you can eat. Freaking animal. Animal, man. I'm telling you. It's an intelligent animal here making war, working to make... Look, these are ghosts. Ghosts. Making war. These intelligent animals, they got the value of dead men. This is like the pet cemetery. They've been calling them up out of death's door or whatever and using them as puppets, using them as laborers against the divine. To fight. So they created these intelligent animals to come against humanity, and this army that this curator had genetically modified to come against God's children and to wipe them out. They thought that they had eliminated all of you, but you two, or at least you two, and I'm sure there were probably more, that were stuck in a deep hellhole that these ones didn't even think about, because they thought for sure you wouldn't be there. You were just gone. In their mind, you were already gone. But God resurrected you and led you back. And it was like, whoa, what the hell is that? And then they're like, who are you? Because they thought you were a myth. You've been down there so long. You were supposed to be extinct long, long ago. I don't know what you are in the spirit, but these ones thought you were a myth. And they were like, what the F is that? They don't know what the hell they're dealing with. They've been screwing around with this business for so many centuries. They have forgotten all about you. They forgot who you were. They forgot what you were capable of. They were using intelligent animals to labor with the value of a dead man. Like they could have been born in a like in one of those bags, you know, where they grow the bodies or whatever that the animal spirit can get into or whatever. So there's unfinished business. We've got health issues could arise. We've got animal. What is the law? What rules apply here, and must they be obeyed? So there's unfinished business. Health issues are going to arise. They could be fodder for these animals. I mean, I don't know. Take it as it resonates. They could be seen as animals. They are intelligent animals. Maybe they're the new... Well, I know they're the new fodder because God said they were the new fodder. and that this is the end of their relationship with batteries. They've been feeding on the souls of God's children for a long, 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 long time, and that was what he said. So we got gold digger. You got the soul of gold. Your energy is like gold, and they're in a tower. You're getting a miracle. The sun is setting on this snake. They're in the reverse. We've got a heart bond, a secret heart bond. I haven't told you everything yet. And we've got gold digger, the call. The gold digger has turned off their ringer. The gold digger has turned off their ringer. You've got a secret heart bond. They cannot get into your space. We've got the call. You should never say who's there. The call. So we've got the gold digger, and it could be that, the people have turned their ringer off. They're no longer taking the calls from this person. Turn your ringer off is what it says. You probably want to let it go to voicemail. Nothing good ever comes from an unexpected call from an unknown number. Self-awareness does not always constitute self-defense. Ironic distance can provide the illusion of safety. Can what you reframe really hurt you? The corrupt can't resist congratulating themselves. Bad news and misdirection can cut us to the quick if we give it half a chance. Turn your ringer off. The corrupt can't resist congratulating themselves. Nobody's taking their call anymore. Nobody wants to talk to this gold digger. They turned the ringer off. So your heart bond, or whoever you're in union with or will be soon, they haven't told you everything yet. It's a secret. It could be that your heart bond is a secret. This is a chance encounter. You might not know what this is. You may have been working in the spirit, what's the word I'm looking for? Covertly. Like, I don't get to see my friends' faces typically because they are like stealth mode, you know. I mean, this is a war after all. And it seems like I'm the only one running around out there half naked, you know, just exposing myself to the entirety of the multiverse. I don't know if I'm doing that anymore, but I did see myself like that once. They never let me have anything. They were making me run around in this other space in my underwear, man. They wouldn't even give me a dress or nothing. Terrible. And well, I only had that vision once. It was just not nice. And people were shaming me, ridiculing me, and all that. Well, anyway, nobody's taking the phone call from this gold digger anymore. You're getting a miracle. The sun is setting on the snake. They are in the reverse. You've got a secret heart bond. A secret heart bond, and nobody is taking calls from that gold digger. We've got irresponsible and emotional immaturity is running. They're running from the Arcana in this sacred space because they're being held back from marriage commitments. They're a mirror, pretending to be you or somebody else, and they're just there causing negative influences while projecting that crap onto other people and being really snide and snotty and arrogant. Pretending as though they're privileged, you know, but their attitude and their character proves that they're anything but. They don't belong in that space, is what I'm trying to say. They're not high quality people. They're just there to screw people over. Why are they there? They're being held back from commitment because it's a gold digging, whatever. We got trapped. They're trapped. They could be trapped. Yeah, they're being held back. There's nothing that they have to offer this sacred space. They're running away. They got to get away. They're trying to get away. They're running away. They're running away from the Arcana. They're being held back from commitment. There's a trap. This trap. They were told. So this is a rootless, fruitless mirror pretending to be somebody other than who they are. And they don't actually belong in this space. They are wearing somebody else's identity. This is a copycat, a fraud, a trickster, an enemy running from the Arcana. Trap. I mean, I told you not to go into that house. They were told not to F around in this space. And now they're trapped. And they're running from the Arcana, who are clearing the territory. They're clearing the territory. They're clearing the territory of these genetic experiments that are there trying to destroy the organic, original human DNA connected to the Most High God, vibrant with the essence of the sun. So, alrighty then, you've got your chariot. You're in your chariot. You might be driving somewhere and you're thinking about your maybe the peace of mind, how, oh my gosh, you know, the Most High God and family divine are victorious, because otherwise it wouldn't be so peaceful in the energy, you know. And you're going to encounter somebody. You're going to bump into somebody. It's going to be love at first sight. Optimism. It's going to make you happy. Your honeymoon, your new union is protected by a guardian angel. Somebody is in grief because what they're doing to you is you're protected. So it's waterproof. It's just rolling off you like water on a bird's wing. And they're in upheaval and they're afraid of your protection. They're exposed. They're like right out there, exposed to the elements. They were told not to go into this house. They're running from the Arcana. They're trapped. They're being held back from marriages and contracts and soul ties because they are an imposter, an enemy, working for this Hierophant reverse, this hypocrite, this cruel whack job, using Ouija boards on people to interfere in their destinies. And then they were training people to be the people that they spy on and bring forth negative influence to destroy their identities, their reputations. This Hierophant in the reverse, he's here. Who the heck is that guy? Who the heck is that guy? Well, we got reciprocity. Whatever scars you're holding, they have earned. Every scar that you hold that somebody gave you, they have earned. It's coming back on them. Yep. So they made mistakes. They wish that they could right their wrongs. They are exposed and they're suspicious. Now they're blaming you. You're here, you're sleeping, you're just minding your own damn business, and they're blaming you. It's all you. You're doing it. They might be pointing at other people. You are protected. The mother, in one of her beautiful divine aspects, stated to be prepared that they're not going to survive. So these people, they very well may try to come at you, because the lens that's being looked through is we've got conflict. They did genetic experiments on these animals and created out of the ghosts, like they did genetic experiments on these goats. What were they doing? Well, I know they were pulling up like graves. They were digging up ancient people's kings and queens and emperors and gods and goddesses. They were digging up their graves and doing genetic experiments with the dead, you know, with animals. It's like they were screwing up. It's like they were taking their bloodline. It's like they bound the bloodline and they were taking this blood and DNA and they were effing it up with these animals. So they effectively, like, they were trying to destroy every valuable family tree of history and blend it and merge it with this animal that they were puppeting. Wild. Suspicion. We've got suspicion. That's a woman there sleeping. That's also an animal with a human face behind it. And they're pointing at you, an original organic empress connected to the Most High. They're very upset because they have earned their scars and they're getting them. They're being delivered and they're very upset by it. And, you know, and all that magic they did on you, all that's going back too, man. This says, don't be trapped by old concepts. The old concept that it's you, it's the woman, it's all her. You got these, these people are wacky, man. I can't believe they actually did this. While chastising people who work hard, calling them irresponsible. This is so freaking weird. You know, assuming and insinuating that other people don't have the ability to be great. It's so weird. But that's just a projection because they know that they're an intelligent animal and you are an organic original, a temperance angel. They don't have any of that. You're a warrior. And they're in shock. They did not know this. They thought you were just this sweet little empress. They probably didn't even see you as an empress, but they knew you were going to develop into one. So they thought they were going to come around and try to mirror just by wearing your energy. But they're low vibrational, man. Dishonest little hoe bags with negative influences. There's no way in the world that they could ever perform the duties of an empress. High priestess, Arcana. But they didn't have to because the plan for this dude was to destroy the reputation of and to have the Most High God see her as unworthy, and therefore they would get another round, another cycle, another turn at being the great guru of the planet and snuck on everybody. But you had the experience of being fed upon by the children of the night. You were their dinner. They were eating on you for a long time while you were cursed because they sacrificed you. They're in grief. Look, these phantoms, they were called up out of a book. Somebody might be in grief. We've got genius animals. They've called up the phantoms out of the grave. These pet cemeteries. They've got a whole bunch of crazy people out there now. These intelligent animals, as children even, with a knife in their hand, and they're out there to get you, man. They're out there to freaking get you. These people lied. These people lied. There's a bunch of lies. And we've got twins wearing a mask. So it could very well be that there's like two of them, you know. There is the group over here, but it's like they cloned themselves or something because the curator is in like he's bi-located. And there are two different organizations that he's working with. And they're both on against the divine, especially the woman and the men. They don't want them. They don't want the actual human, original, organic, divine, masculine. Oh man, they can't mess with you. They want you to go fight a war somewhere way over there and just perish. You know, they can't have you here challenging them. So it's like they're bilocated, and they're wearing a mask, and there's like in different locations. So they could have numerous, or had numerous replicas of you dressed up in the energy in various locations, being this or that. And you know, the thing about the mother of the earth is like, she's got this most fabulous energy, right? She's the high priestess empress. She's so freaking cool, and she's got a crown and everything, you know, bringing change, bringing transformation. Crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, it was forbidden for these broken minds, these tricksters, these intelligent animals. It was forbidden for them to feed on you. They were not to eat the apple. The apple was the fruit of God's family tree, which were the daughters of Eden. And Eve was made from the rib of Adam. Adam made a freaking clone of himself in the form of a woman and decided to make it his wife. Isn't that freaking whacked? That's so whack, man. That's disturbing. But then they had to dress up Eve in the apple energy, right? So, yeah, that's where it all started. Way the hell back in the beginning, man. All the way back. Now, this may not be the beginning, but it's the beginning of the story that we've been spoon-fed here. You know, this ridiculous religious storyline. These lies that were told by a Hierophant reverse. They twisted everything bad. Trickster. Their boat isn't big enough. Their boat isn't big enough for the monsters that they have unleashed here. And they're no longer covered by your light or God's protection. The midnight boogeyman is here. The midnight devil. Fabricating a lifetime story, and what they thought was going to be a celebration has turned into a nightmare. See, usually a celebration, you go to celebrate, woohoo, fun, 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 you know, and then it turns into a nightmare. Somebody winds up with a whole bunch of knives in them and stuff, right? So their celebration turned into a nightmare, and now they're taking flight, like they're being evicted out of the room, and this curator, or out of the house, and this curator was like, well, if we lose our home here, and it's like, yes, you've lost your home here because this is not good. I mean, fire. Okay, so they said purified by fire. You know, now fire could be the light of the sun within you as an incredible light-bearing being. Your energy may actually harm lower vibrational entities. My own mother, narcissist, the last time I saw her, she told me that it hurt to be around me. Like my energy was just too much for her to handle. So anyway, we got fire, and it could very well be like egg is something's coming right at you, right? It's coming right at you. That monster, that's alien or whatever that is, coming right at you. So there could be fire, like they may have to set fire to everything, trying to purify the earth. I don't know. But I heard them talking about cryogenics, like extreme cold. So I don't know. Take it. I mean, you got the what is that ice? That ice. That really super cold ice. That you can't touch. Well, I got one more. Crap, we're already over 2 hours. I'm just gonna keep going. You guys can fast forward if you need to, because I got. No, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. All right, so this is where we're at. They're pointing fingers. They're blaming you. They're having paranoia because all of the magic. Now, think this has been going on for centuries, okay? You've been sacrificed over and over and over again in the spiritual realm. You know, you're here. You get to live 30 to 50 years or whatever they let you, you know, before they harvest you again. You, an internal being of light and life. So they got to harvest every once in a while, but that's what they've been doing. So you're gonna get married soon, it looks like. You're protected. They were told not to go into that house. They were told not to eat of that tree.